history, diversity,
identity,
language,
discrimination,
racism, culture,
change.
life. Welcome to our show.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for joining us today for our stories, our voices, growing up multilingual with Chinese heritage. Before we start, we wanted to provide a bit of background and context to the project so that you know what to expect.
And I'll do everything in Mandarin. 大家好，感谢大家在百忙之中抽出时间来观看我们的演出。本次演出的主题是我们的故事，我们的声音，华裔青少年的多语成长体验。在演出开始之前，我们想简单介绍一下这个项目的背景和内容，方便大家对今天的活动有个初步的了解。
The project Growing Up Multilingual with Chinese Heritage had two strands, one global, one local. Across these two strands, over 200 young people aged 11 to 18 years old have shared their experiences with us. For the performance today, we have worked with our 9 young performers to bring these stories to life. This show has no single story, no plot that you can follow from beginning to end. Instead, the young performers you will see today have chosen some of the stories shared by young people worldwide and right here in Sheffield. In some cases, they have chosen to add their own stories, and in some cases, they have decided to weave several stories together in a way that maintains the focus, if not the exact words of the original data shared.
我们的项目面向全球以及谢菲尔德本地的华裔青少年，收集并了解了他们的成长经历。在这个过程中，200多名11到18岁的青少年向我们分享了他们的故事。在今天的演出中，我们将和9名小演员们一起把这些故事带到舞台上。这些演出不会有一个完整的故事线或者连贯的情节，而是由许多碎片化的小故事组成。您将看到的是小演员们从世界各地华裔青少年的故事中所挑选出来的片段，有时他们也会加入自己的故事，或者将多个故事编织在一起。
What you will hear and experience is therefore snippets, a series of monologues and short excerpts, all intended to give you an opportunity to share in the experiences of young people who know what it is like to grow up multilingual with Chinese heritage in the world today. We'd like to provide a little bit of warning that these experiences are not always happy. We will have time at the end for some questions about the research project or the performance. Thank you.
因此，这场演出更像是一系列的独白或者片段的拼接，希望您能通过这些碎片化的故事，感受到华裔青少年的成长历程。其中的一些故事可能会涉及到种族歧视或者霸凌的情节，可能会让您感受到一点的不舒服。演出结束后，我们也将留出时间回答大家关于研究项目和表演的提问。再次谢谢您的到来。
My experience of cultural identity is fragmented. Sunday afternoon spent suffocating within the brick walls of Chinese school, holding my breath through clouds of cigarette smoke on Chinatown sidewalks, fortune cookies and hot pot, and the incessant beeping of rice cookers. With time, my connection began to disintegrate. I quit Chinese school and rapidly lost my grasp on their language and culture. COVID began to hit. Hate crimes and discrimination peaked worse than before. The Chinese culture carries beauty, but my skin carries such violence. 为什么会这样？ I'll forever distinctly remember the night my dad was assaulted, whilst I snoozed into a dream. We should at least feel safe at home, but as a Chinese person, even sleeping is difficult. If you can speak English, you can be smart and help translate for your parents. 但我不会写字义的语言，我聪明吗？ I often feel lost, amorphous, displaced, tethered to nothing, suspended in a limbo between East and West, no heritage, no roots. A lot of this is my fault. I spent so long marinating in the racism and vitriol projected onto me, absorbing it into the pores of my being. I rejected all the trappings of my otherness, all the things that jeopardized my quest for assimilation into white Britain. Sometimes I really don't know who I am, but maybe that's okay. Maybe the beauty of the human experience lies in the struggle to pick up the scattered remnants of identity and assemble them into something that can support our weight for the time being. My name is Lin Ling and I love my Chinese culture.
My mom is Chinese and my dad is British. 我喜欢画画、跳舞和小仓鼠。I like drawing, dancing, and hamsters. 我小的时候在中国，住在姥姥姥爷家。我3岁来到英国。我妈妈说我刚来到英国的时候，中文非常好，能说很多话。My Chinese was very good when I was little. 但是到了英国的幼儿园里，老师和小朋友听不懂我的话。But when I went to nursery here, the teachers and children didn't understand, though I still talked a lot thinking they could understand. Later, I started speaking more English and less Chinese. Now my Chinese isn't very good. 在学校，我有很多朋友。It's good to speak Chinese because I can talk to my grandparents. However, my friends always ask me to speak Chinese for them, which I find annoying.
My parents were born in China, while my younger brother, sister and I were all born in the United Kingdom. From a young age, I used to communicate with my family in a mixture of English and Chinese. However, I leaned more towards speaking English. As I grew older, both my parents and I began to notice that I was speaking less Chinese and my ability to express myself in Chinese was weakening. Language is a powerful tool that shapes our identity and connects us to our roots. It carries the essence of who we are, our history, and our values. Gradually, each character stroke morphed into question marks. As I began to lose my fluency in Chinese, I realized that it wasn't just words slipping away. It was part of my cultural heritage, my link to the traditions and stories that had been passed down through generations. The more I struggled with expressing myself in Chinese, the more I understood that maintaining a language is about more than just communication. It's about preserving a vital connection to one's ancestry and keeping the culture alive for future generations. In this light, I realised that language isn't just for communication. It can also bridge the gap between people from different countries, cultures, and ethnicities who speak the same language, fostering understanding. Mandarin Chinese presents a unique and challenging learning experience, and few foreigners manage to gain a full understanding of China. I thought that I should continue my efforts in learning, not only to improve my communication skills, but also to share China's rich history, its breathtaking landscapes, and Chinese traditions such as filial piety with people from other countries. I want them to gain a better understanding of our nation and maybe even visit China, thereby promoting and preserving our culture and traditions. Perhaps this is the true power of language.
My name is Marcus Meng and I am 11 years old. I was born in Leeds, England. In my home, there's a blend of Eastern and Western cultures. My father completed his graduate studies in Sheffield University and has been working in the UK ever since. My mother is from Beijing, and in a warm home, she teaches me Chinese. Every Sunday, I also attend Leeds Chinese Community School to further my language skills. Although the strokes of Chinese characters can be intricate and daring to write, I find endless joy in learning them. At my English school, I use English. My love for China grows with each passing day. Beijing is a city where ancient history and modern life blend seamlessly. It is home to the Forbidden City, an imperial palace with over 600 years of history, and the Great Wall of China, one of the most iconic landmarks in the world. In Beijing, you can experience both traditional Chinese culture and cutting-edge modern development. China's rapid growth never ceases to amaze me. Beijing's extensive subway and the convenience of shopping are incredible. It serves as a vital transportation network for the city's residents and visitors, covering a vast area with numerous lines that connect key districts, landmarks and suburbs. Advanced technology, especially the widespread use of mobile phone, make life extremely convenient. It's having the world to your fingertips. Last year, my mum and I visited her university, Peking University, founded in 1898. Peking University is one of China's most prestigious and oldest educational institutions. Visiting this iconic institution offers a glimpse into China's academic excellence and history. Every time I visit Beijing, I get to savor a variety of delicious Chinese dishes with a unique flavor, leaving a lasting impression. In comparison, the food options in the UK are not as varied, but they do have their own charm. At home, my mother mostly cooks Chinese dishes, and my classmates particularly love the dumplings she makes. These are fortune dumplings, where the cabbage filling represents a blessing for a prosperous life of 100 years. The word cabbage, bear sounds like 100 wealth, bear. However, I also enjoy Western cuisines, with exotic flavors filling me with curiosity and delight. I celebrate both Western and Chinese festivals in the UK, wherever it is Christmas and Easter or traditional Chinese holidays like the Spring Festival and Mid-Autumn Festival. I get to experience the rich heritage of both cultures. The biggest festival in China is the Spring Festival. Similar to Christmas in the UK, people eat lots of delicious food and also receive red packets. In this intertwining of Eastern and Western cultures, languages and experiences, I found my unique identity, a harmless blend that shapes who I am now and who I aspire to be in the future.
It makes me feel different, and at times I even question my identity and worth.
I'm tired of people bullying the way I am.
At school, I sometimes face mockery and exclusion from classmates just because of my skin colour, language or cultural background.
Chinese culture carries beauty, but my skin carries such violence. 为什么会这样?
Chinese are always bullied.
No one knows how it feels to be the odd one out.
People don't treat me the way I treat them.
我觉得种族歧视是一个大问题。
I was bullied and called names, but I soon learned how to cope with it.
Equality isn't in people's vocabulary.
COVID began to hit. Hate crimes and discrimination peaked worse than before. In 7th grade, they came over to bully us for no reason.
They continued with verbal insults, but we lacked any evidence to take any action against them.
I will forever distinctly remember the night my father was assaulted while I slept.
One day, a group of 5 students started discriminating against us.
As a person with Chinese heritage, at the start of COVID-19 2020, causing accusations from certain people at my primary school, insulted and teased me.
In my family, I have my mum who is Chinese, my dad who is British, and my little sister, me, and my little brother who are all half Chinese, half British. I was born in northeast China, Shenyang, and lived there with my grandparents for 4 months. I've never considered or thought if I was Chinese or British, but I would say I am British rather than Chinese. Although I was born in China, I am only half Chinese, and I have lived in the UK much longer than in China. I speak Chinese at home with my mum, but not anywhere else. Since most of my friends are British, I have experienced some Chinese culture like food, Mid-Autumn Festival, and Chinese New Year. Sometimes people think I'm Japanese or Vietnamese, but I don't think much of it because they aren't being rude. I do not think I am different in school. I speak more English than Chinese. Although I go to a Chinese school every weekend, my spoken and written Chinese is not great. Since I do not get to use it apart from speaking with my mum and my grandparents. I usually don't get treated differently because of my foreign ethnicity.
During my growing up years, I've experienced various forms of racist discrimination in public place, at school, and on social media. This discrimination has left me feeling confused and hurt. At school, I sometimes face mockery and exclusion from classmates just because my skin color, language, or cultural background are different from theirs. It made me feel different, and sometimes I even question my identity and worth.
在我的成长过程中，我经历了很多种族歧视的情况，公共场所、学校里和在社交媒体上，这种歧视让我感到非常的困惑和受伤。在学校里，有时我会遭到同学们嘲笑和排斥，仅仅因为我和他们的肤色、语言或文化背景不同，这让我觉得自己与众不同，有时甚至怀疑自己的身份和价值。
你好，我的名字是夏可欣，今年15岁。我喜欢画画、跳舞和打篮球。我从小到大是在一个女子学校上学。在我13岁生日的时候，我跟表弟和表姐去公园野餐，然后有几个白皮肤的9岁男孩子过来要棒棒糖，我给了他们几个，然后他们就走了。几分钟后，他们又过来要了，但我没有了。 所以我说我已经没有更多的了，他们就突然把我手机抢过去，边跑边扔，还有好几次差点就掉地上了。我的表姐帮我去追他们，帮我手机抢回来了。那天我特别不开心。我是3年级才学会说英文的，因为家里只说中文，所以小时候我的英文不太好，我的英语很差。 但是我会抓住机会使用我的英语。2020年，我参加了 BBC Newsround 的采访，拍摄关于疫情的视频。2020年，中国的孩子在英文学校经常被同龄人欺负，当地社区的人认为是中国人将新冠病毒带到了世界各地，引起人们害怕中国人和种族歧视。我说出我的感受，并站出来保护华人社区。2021年。 BBC Newsround 再次邀请我重新做访问。我在中文学校除了站出来与中国人发声，我还参加过2022年社区 Manchester Parade。我们坐了一辆马车和很多人造花，街上有很多人，让我为华人社区感到非常自豪，非常开心。我每个星期都会去中文学校学习和做义工，学校每年都会在这棵大树下拍集体照。 老师说，家长可以看到我们在中文学校的树下成长。中文学校就是我第2个家。
I feel proud to know Chinese. It's like having a second life.
Sometimes I'm not happy where I am from.
I prefer staying at home to play games, and I wasn't fond of learning Chinese because I found it too difficult.
Learning at Chinese school has become more of a chore to me.
My mum enrolled me in a Chinese school.
I particularly love the profoundness of Chinese culture.
I'm very grateful to be a British-born Chinese, as it gives me a unique perspective on life.
我不能放弃中文，因为这样的话，我就不好意思再称我自己为中国人了。
I'm not seeing the need to learn Chinese. I do find Chinese culture very interesting. I became less interested in my mother tongue.
I developed a hatred towards learning it, and with how much easier it was to express myself in English, I started to lean towards it.
My lack of enthusiasm for Chinese was mainly due to living in an English-speaking environment.
Being able to speak Chinese makes me feel proud and unique because speaking a different language will be beneficial for my future.
But sometimes I feel puzzled about my identity and which country I belong to.
I argue with my mum questioning why I had to learn Chinese.
Being able to speak Chinese makes me feel proud and unique. When I was younger, I didn't like speaking Chinese because all of my friends spoke English.
Initially, I found learning Chinese difficult and pointless.
可以講廣東話、英文、普通話，令到我覺得好驕傲。
I am proud to speak Chinese and I take learning it seriously.
I believe that learning Chinese will be very beneficial for my future career and life.
Growing up with two languages has been very interesting.
It is quite stressful, added on top of regular English school homework, revision, and everyday life.
Studying Chinese is enjoyable as it means making more Chinese friends and expressing my thoughts in Mandarin.
Joining a Chinese school has been a great joy for me.
我覺得特別驕傲同埋與眾不同。My Mandarin began to suffer as my English improved. It was fun to be able to converse with my mom and relatives who lived in China.
I feel that having this language skill makes me even more unique.
Knowing Chinese makes me feel closer to my heritage.
You don't need it in this country. You don't need English.
I noticed that my friends weren't learning Chinese as an extracurricular subject, and I gradually lose interest in it.
I take pride in this and I'm grateful for my decision to learn it.
I find learning Chinese quite boring. After all, having one less day of free time than my peers and more homework can be challenging.
Look upon this endless endless wasteland of consumerism. Tesco, the mighty fortress of convenience, the grand cathedral of material wealth. Yet here I stand, a desperate pilgrim, searching for a fragment of my heritage, red pockets, and finding nothing but emptiness. Red pockets are not just mere scraps of crimson paper, but are sacred vessels of tradition, bearers of fortune, carriers of our ancestors' blessings. Each one a lifeline to my heritage, a thread woven through the fabric of time, binding generations in a tapestry of culture and love. I've journeyed through the valley of dairy, braved the desert of frozen foods, scaled the peaks of canned goods. Every corner, every shadow I've scoured. And yet these sacred red pockets elude me. Has Tesco, in its boundless arrogance, deemed these symbols of my heritage unworthy of its shelves? Are they less important than the gaudy cereals, the nourished crisps that line these endless aisles? My ancestors, who folded these pockets with reverence, whose whispered blessings filled our homes, how do I honour you now? How do I explain this void to my children who rely on me to keep your legacy alive, to keep our traditions burning bright? These pockets are more than mere paper. They are the heartbeat of our Lunar New Year. They are the vibrant red flames that light up our homes, warding off evil spirits and inviting good fortune. They are the joy in the eyes of the young who eagerly hold them, feeling the love and the blessings within. I remember my grandmother's hands, delicate and wise, folding the paper with meticulous care, her voice weaving ancient tales of luck and love. And now, in this cold, soulless expanse, I find nothing. How do I bridge this chasm between past and present, between this richness of tradition and the sterility of modernity? Is this what progress means? That our cherished traditions are swallowed up in the relentless tide of instant gratification and endless choices. That something so simple, as vital as a red pocket, can be so easily forgotten, so casually discarded. So Tesco, hear me cry. Your aisles are not just filled with products. They are filled with pieces of people's lives, their cultures, their histories. Sometimes all we need is a simple red pocket to feel whole, to feel connected, to feel alive. Without these red pockets, without this tangible link into our past, our hope for the future, we are lost, we are diminished, we are forgotten. Grandmother, I vow I will not let your legacy fade. I will find these red pockets. I will keep these traditions alive. For without them, we lose a part of ourselves, a part of our soul.
Alright, picture this, it's Saturday and I'm just at Tesco's trying to grab some snacks for the weekends, you know, just the usual, broccoli, lettuce and maybe a cheeky carrot sticks. I'm cruising through the aisles, not really paying attention when bam, I spot this red envelope just chilling on the floor, like, who even dropped something like that in Tesco's? Totally random, right? I picked it up thinking it's probably some coupon or whatever, but nah bro, it's heavier. I flipped it over and see these dope gold designs on it. My brain's like, whoa, this isn't just any old envelope, this is something special. It's a red pocket, like the ones my mate Ming talks about. Getting for Chinese New Year. Apparently, they're all good looking stuff. So I'm standing there, smack dab in the middle of the snack aisles, holding this red pocket. Feel like I'm just stumbling into some next level treasure hunt. I mean, it's Tesco's. Who finds this kind of stuff in Tesco's? My curiosity through the floor. I tear it open and instead of some juicy Brussels sprouts, there's this piece of paper inside. It's got this fancy writing on it, like some out of Harry Potter or whatever. Dear friend, it starts if you find this pocket, then you've been chosen to embark on a journey. I'm like, wait, what? A journey? This is getting seriously wild. The note goes on about finding more pockets around the stores. each with clues leading to some nice veggie snacks. Now I'm all in. This is way more exciting than just grabbing some being at home and bouncing. So I started hunting. I'm zipping through the aisles like a madman, eyes peeled for any hint of red. I found another pocket bag with cereal boxes, then one near the fruits and veggies, each one getting another clue leading me deeper into this crazy scavenger hunt. Other shoppers are giving me side eye, but I don't care. This is way too late to worry about looking dumb. Finally, I get this last clue. It leads me to the back of the store, near the stock rooms. I'm buzzing with excitement. I push open the door, and there, sitting on a stack of crates, is the final pocket inside. There's no more paper, just this old key, and a note saying, "Pay for your own carrot sticks, nerd." I'm standing there in the back of Tesco's holding a key like I just unlocked some next secret level in Fortnite. My mind racing, trying to figure out what all this means. Maybe it's just a really elaborate market stunt, or maybe, just maybe, I stumbled onto something magical. Either way, this has been the most insane Tesco runs ever. And honestly, I can't wait to see what happens next.
My experience with cultural identity is fragmented. Sunday afternoon spent suffocating within the brick walls of Chinese school, holding my breath through thick clouds of cigarette smoke along Chinatown sidewalks, fortune cookies, hot pots, and the incessant beeping of rice cookers. With time, my connection began to disintegrate. I quit Chinese school and rapidly lost my grasp on my language and culture. The Chinese culture carries such beauty, but why does my skin carry such violence? 为什么会这样? I will forever distinctly remember the night my father was assaulted whilst I snoozed into a dream. 我们至少应该在家感到安全，但是作为一个中国人，睡觉也都困难。如果你会说英文，你就算聪明，能帮爸爸妈妈翻译。但我不会写我自己的语言，我聪明吗？ I often feel lost, displaced to nothing, suspended in a limbo between East and West. No heritage, no roots. And a lot of this is my fault. I spent so long marinating myself into the racism, absorbing it into the pores of my skin. Sometimes I really don't know who I am, but maybe that's okay. Maybe the beauty of human experience lies in the struggle to pick up scattered remnants of identity. 我叫玲玲，我爱我的中国文化。
History, diversity,
Identity.
language,
Discrimination.
racism, culture,
Change.
life.
Thank
you.